Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite Zionist white colonizer, the traveling Clat Tall, coming to you live from the United States of America. We are going to be looking at the press conference happening between Bibi Netanyahu and Donald Trump right now in the Oval Office. This is happening live. We're watching this live happening right now.
Person, I've dealt with him for a long time, Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, and we had lunch together, we had meetings together, along with his very capable staff, and I think we've come up to some pretty good solutions and conclusions, and we'll be working a little bit after this, and then I assume you're going back home.
Yes, sir.
This is a quick stop, in and out. But we appreciate you being here, and we are a friend of Israel, as you know. I would say that I'm by far the best president that Israel has ever even thought of seeing. And
Trump.
It's an honor to be so, and to be so thought of. And many friends in Israel, they are not in an easy area. It doesn't go easy, but we are helping them. And likewise, they've been helping us very much. And so we'll see how it all works out. But we had great discussions today, I think, on the obvious subject of Iran, and also the less obvious subject with respect to Israel, and that's trade. And I think the Prime Minister is going to tell you a little bit about trade and what they're doing for the United States. So I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you very much. And
thank you.
Benjamin, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
So this is going to be a two-pronged conversation about trade and Iran. I know the Iran stuff's coming a little bit later. This is, by the way, this is happening live right now. So
Thank you.
let's see what they talk about when it comes to tariffs. And
Mr. President, I want to first thank you for inviting me again to the White House. You've been a remarkable friend of the State of Israel. You stand by us. You're standing with us. You are a great, great champion of our lives. And you actually do the things that you say you do. And I think that people respect that enormously. I certainly do, and the people of Israel do, and I think the Jewish people do as well. We just saw your representative in the Department of Justice fighting anti-Semitism, standing up for Israel in international forums. I just want you to know from the heart, it's deeply, deeply appreciated. As you said, we had the opportunity to talk today about many subjects. First, if I can mention tariffs, it's a subject of some interest today. I can tell you that I said to the President a very simple thing. We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do.
interesting.
And we're going to also eliminate trade barriers, a variety of trade barriers that have been put up unnecessarily. And I think Israel can serve as a model for many countries who ought to do the same. I recognize the position of the United States. It says, you know, we're allowing other countries to put tariffs on us, but we don't put tariffs on them. And, you know, I'm a free trade champion, and free trade has to be fair trade. And I think that's basically the position that you've put forward, Mr. President. We are going to eliminate the tariffs, and rapidly. I had the opportunity to speak to Secretary Lutnick yesterday. We talked about how we could effect this quickly, and I hope to bring a solution very quickly. We're not talking about intentions. We're not talking about, you know, just words. We're talking about results. And those results are going to come back. That's the first.
Thank you very much. It's very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President, what about the hostages deal?
Well, I
What
didn't,
about the
Let him
hostages?
finish.
We begin. We spoke about not only the
Wait, let me finish. You don't. Why don't you let me talking? I am the Prime Minister of United States of Israel.
hostages, but about Gaza, the hostages obviously is a human story of just unbearable agony. I speak to the families. I spoke to them yesterday. Spoke to another one when I was in Hungary before I came here. I speak to them every day. They're in agony. The hostages are in agony, and we want to get them all out. Steve Witkoff was President Trump's very able representative, helped us get a deal that got 25 out. We're working now on another deal that we hope will succeed. And we're committed to getting all the hostages out, but also eliminating the evil tyranny of Hamas in Gaza, and enabling the people of Gaza to freely make a choice to go wherever they want.
Good.
They should have that choice. and the president put forward a vision, a bold vision, which we discussed as well, including the countries that might be amenable and are amenable to accepting Palestinians of their free choice if they choose to go there. And I think that's the second thing that we discussed. But the hostages came right on top. We also discussed the situation in Syria. We've had neighborly relations with Turkey that have deteriorated, and we don't want to see Syria being used by anyone, including Turkey, as a base for attack in Israel. Turkey is a country that has a great relationship with the United States. The president has a relationship with the leader of Turkey. We discussed how we can avoid this conflict in a variety of ways, and I think we can't have a better interlocutor than the president of the United States for this purpose. And of course, we also discussed Iran. Look, we're both united in the goal that Iran does not ever get nuclear weapons. If it can be done diplomatically in a full way, the way it was done in Libya, I think that would be a good thing. But whatever happens, we have to make sure that Iran does not have nuclear weapons.
Interesting. BB's for his whole career has been gung-ho about militarily finishing Iran, but I guess maybe Trump is able to dissuade him and try to find a diplomatic solution. A little weird. You kind of feel like a little backtracking here from BB.
That's the end of my speech.
We're having direct talks with. Wait. We're having direct talks with Iran, and
I love the idea of Donald Trump telling an Israeli reporter, "Wait," and the Israeli reporter is like, "No, Donald."
Wait. We're having direct talks.
I love it.
We're having direct talks with. Wait. We're having direct talks with Iran, and they've started. It'll go on Saturday. We have a very big meeting, and we'll see what can happen. And I think everybody agrees
Saturday.
that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious. And the obvious is not something that I want to be involved with, or frankly, that Israel wants to be involved with if they can avoid it. So we're going to see if we can avoid it. But it's getting to be very dangerous territory. And hopefully those talks will be successful. And I think it would be in Iran's best interest if they are successful. And we hope that's going to happen.
Also, our president looking mighty orange today, to be honest with you. In a good way. He's looking healthily orange, but like a shade of tangerine. Are you allowed to make those kinds of jokes in this space? You know, I don't have allegiance to anybody. I'm just a rat bastard Jew. Nobody got my allegiance. Until somebody starts paying my bills, I ain't got no allegiance except for you guys. This is my only allegiance. But it is interesting. It's interesting to see them really push hard on this whole diplomatic solution thing. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. The fact that there is a meeting on the table probably means this is going to be solved diplomatically and not with a war. And I'm not saying that in a reluctant way. A war is going to be terrible for all of us. It's horrible for the Iranians, horrible for the Israelis, horrible for Palestinians, horrible for America. It's not going to be good. I'm just saying it looks like all the posturing, it was literally just a negotiation tactic to get them to the table. And now that they're at the table, well, Saturday we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens on Saturday. Let's see what else President Trump has to say.
And we had just a lot of good talks on a lot of things. I appreciate very much what you said about the tariffs. We've been ripped off and taken advantage of by many countries over the years, and can't do it anymore. Just can't do it anymore. Can't be the stupid people anymore. And it's all because of the people that sat in the seat right here. Not your seat, but this seat. They allowed things to happen to our country that they shouldn't have allowed to happen on trade and other things, many other things. I mean, look at what's happened with our last president, where he allowed millions of people to come into our country with an open border. Who would want an open border? How stupid is that? But he allowed millions and millions of people, and of the millions, and I think it was 21 million people, but let's say 3 of them were serious criminals, serious murderers and drug dealers and gang members and people from jails. All the jails emptied out right into our country, right along the open border on Mexico, generally the Mexico. They came in from Canada too, by the way, a lot. But generally speaking, on the southern border. And what a shame it is that we are now working very hard to get them out, get the criminals out, get the murderers out. the drug dealers, the mentally insane, get them out. They dropped the mentally insane in our country too. And this was all done by the Biden administration. It's a disgrace that we have to work so hard. And then we have judges that try and protect these people, but they didn't protect us when the people were being let in. But to get them out is never easy with these people. So,
All right. Well, I want to get back to Israel
I think
stuff.
we're doing a great job. The border is the best it's ever been.
I'm skipping through trying to find Israel stuff.
Palestinian Americans who voted for you and not for Biden because you've promised them to end the war in Gaza.
Very honored by that vote, too.
The war is still going on and there's no hostage deal. Do you have any update on that?
Well, I'd like to see the war stop, and I think the war will stop at some point that won't be in the too distant future. Right now we have a problem with hostages. We're trying to get the hostages out. We got quite a few of them out, but it's a long process. It shouldn't be that long. We have a big problem that we've done. I think I'll ask Pete to maybe talk about it for a second, because a lot of people are asking. The Houthis, we've been very tough and very successful militarily. We've really damaged them badly. These were people shooting down ships and other things, by the way, flying objects like airplanes. And we've put a major hurt on the Houthis, which nobody's been able to do. We've really hit them hard, and they know it, and they don't know what to do. And it's every night, night after night. And we've gotten many of their leaders and their experts. They're experts on missiles. I mean, they actually make missiles. Nobody thought that. But they make missiles. They're highly sophisticated, and they're very tough. But they've been very badly damaged. Nobody else was able to do that but us. Pete, you want to discuss that, please?
Yes, sir. It's been a bad 3 weeks for the Houthis, and it's about to get worse. It's been a devastating campaign, whether it's underground facilities, weapons manufacturing, bunkers, troops in the open, air defense assets. We are not going to relent. And it's only to get more unrelenting until the Houthis declare they will stop shooting at our ships. And
Good.
we're very clear at the Iranians as well. They should not continue to provide support to the Houthis, and that message has been made very clear. So we have a lot more options and a lot more pressure to apply, and we know, because we see the reports, how devastating this campaign has been in them, and we will not relent.
We have a great military. There's no military like our military. And despite Biden having given a lot, but nevertheless a pretty small piece, but it was a lot of our military away in Afghanistan, and one of the dumbest situations, I think, and maybe the most embarrassing situation we've ever been involved in, that short period of time in Afghanistan. What a disgrace that was, but left a lot of our military behind, left. You see them in their annual parades where they're parading trucks that are armor-plated and different things that they can't. But it's many billions of dollars we left behind.
Right.
But despite that, we have a tremendous military. That was a very small portion because we rebuilt the military during my first term.
Okay. Okay, here we have another question from another reporter.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to ask you about Iran because this is the first time we hear that the U.S. is having a direct contact with the Iranians. Is it possible to give us some more information at what level the U.S. is
High level,
represented?
very high level. Yeah.
And
we're dealing with the Iranians. We have a very big meeting on Saturday, and we're dealing with them directly. You know, a lot of people say, oh, maybe you're going through surrogates or you're not dealing directly, you're dealing through other countries. No, we're dealing with them directly, and maybe a deal is going to be made. That would be great. It'd be really great for Iran, I can tell you that. But hopefully, we're not going to have to get into that. We're meeting very importantly on Saturday at almost the highest level, and we'll see how it works out. Please.
How do you ensure, Mr. President, that these tariffs don't drive U.S.
All right, there's more tariff talk. I think that's probably enough. There was one other thing here about the hostages I'm going to try to fish through. Here we go, found another.
If you're going to negotiate a new deal with Iran, can you elaborate how it's going to be more effective than the JCPOA?
Well, I can't really say that, but I think it'll be different and maybe a lot stronger. But they were so happy when we made that first deal because we did get a lot out. You know, I had people right in this office, this beautiful Oval Office. They came in, 10 people, hostages, you know that. And I said to them, so how was it? And the stories they told me, I mean, as an example, I said to them, was there any sign of love? You were there, 10 people. It's only 10, but it's pretty representative. did the Hamas show any signs of like help or liking you? Did they wink at you? Did they give you a piece of bread extra? Did they give you a meal on the side, like, you know, you think of doing, like what happened in Germany, what happened elsewhere? People would try and help people that were in unbelievable distress. They said no. I said, all of them. I said, did they ever wink at you like, you'll be okay, you're gonna be okay? No, they didn't do that. They'd slap us. The hatred is unbelievable. And the lives, you know, they lived in a pipe, not really a tunnel, it was a pipe. And they always thought they were suffocating, they were gonna suffocate. And then they'd open up the pipe and it was like 3.5 feet high. This isn't, you know, we hear tunnel is bad, but pipes are worse. And the stories I heard were incredible. But I just said, was there any sign of potential love or affection? And there were none whatsoever. It was amazing to me. There was nothing like, here, take this, it's a little extra meal or something. They lived like hell. I don't know, they seemed to be, they were amazing to me because they seemed to be pretty normal. They weren't scarred, but I guarantee underneath they have to be scarred. And one was there for 356 days, another was there for about 180 days, you know, a long time. These are people that have been really, really horribly treated. I've never seen anything like it, actually. I was very surprised to hear the answer.
So this is really Donald Trump desperately looking for the humanity in Hamas, in the Palestinian people in Gaza, and struggling to do so. Welcome, Habibi. Welcome to the club. This has been the crux of the Jewish people for the last year. We've all been struggling to find any sort of humanity in Gaza. It's been really hard, and we're trying. It's not we're trying to push it away. We're really looking for the humanity in Gaza, and we're having a hard time finding it because the Palestinian people had such fucked up morality. So, you know, this is our news update from Donald Trump coming to you live right now. Press conference with Bibi Netanyahu. It's to be seen what's going to happen. So now we know all the news, all the hype about war. I've been doing it myself, all the war updates, all this stuff. It's looking like Saturday we've got a deal or a sit down at the table. If that goes well, it may usher in a new deal for Hamas-Israel. Houthis look like they've been a little bit on the downside now, on a downturn. And let's see what happens. Habibis? We've got a very interesting couple of days in front of us. I'm assuming this week could get potentially rocky. Could be we got a week ahead of us right now where anything could happen, anything could change. But we got basically from Monday till Saturday to survive and hopefully not bring on World War III. Let's see what happens. If you do love me and you want to support this channel, you can buy Traveling Clap merch, like this little Judean shirt in the description below, travelingclap.com, and I'll see you in the next one. I love you guys. Long time. Goodbye.
We have no fear. We have no fear.
That's not my outro. I don't know where my outro went. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.